What's going on, y'all? Saint Pipe here, aka Black Native. I'm feeling real good today. How you doing? Good? All things working for your good? That's good, man. All things working for mine as well. Thanks for asking. Today I'm out here chilling. It's a Sunday, my only day off. If y'all don't know, I'm a fitness trainer. That's what I do. But I got me some sugar cane today. So I went out, took a little ride. I'm down in Louisiana, so I went and got me some sugar cane today. And I just want to peel this and talk to y'all, all right? So basically, we first want to take off the leaves, take off the husk. Kind of look like something you would find on corn. You're gonna take that off, right? That's how I do it. A million ways to skin a cat. Which way works for you, right? So I start off taking that off. Peeling these, boom. Not like they stop me from doing what I really want to do, right? Boom. Because you could just go straight like that to the juicy part up on the inside. But I just like to do that, right? So if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like any other fruit. There's an outside, then there's a softer inside. It's kind of like the heart of a tree. That's kind of how this is, right? The inside is what you eat. And you don't really want to eat this, but you do want to chew on it. It's very fibrous and it's tough. It's stringy. It's tough and it's stringy. So over here, I got me a knife. You want to have a sharp knife, right? Real sharp knife if you can, because it could get real strenuous and you end up using more of your muscle instead of letting the knife work for you. So, got the leaves up here. I'm just gonna chop that off. Right? Boom. Alright, boom. And you don't see. Now we got the top off of that, right? Boom. Now we're just gonna peel it. Boom. Ooh, it's nice and soft. It's gonna taste real good. It's gonna taste real good. There you go. You see? This is the green. We just wanna peel that off. Boom. Now as you get inside of it, you can start to chew on it. Wash that off a little bit. Just want to show y'all what we're working with. Now, I wouldn't call myself country, but one time I went to New York, and just because I was from Louisiana, they called me country. I ain't like it back then. But I understand, you know. I get it. Because what, in the city, up there, but my accent, you know, the way I move, I'm country to them. You know what I'm saying? But we all got roots to the country, right? We all got roots to what you would call the country. And that's something that, you know, even if you're in the city, you should be respectful of. But yeah, man, I went up there. I was on a school visit. And, you know, I played football, of course. Being from New Orleans, Southern Louisiana, that's a sport to play. That's what we play for the most part. That's what we take seriously. And I was visiting St. Lawrence. If y'all know, ever heard of St. Lawrence, that's where I was at, up there in New York, past Syracuse, almost to Canada. It was freezing. I mean, it was springtime. It was still snowing. It was still freezing cold, bro. All right. Taste some of it, right? It was still freezing. Oh yeah, there we go. Snow on the ground. You really just kind of chewing it like that. Give you that nice sweet flavor. That's basically what we do. You see, it's real fibrous. It's real stringy, right? And I like eating stuff like this, you know, there's no wrapper. You could throw it out in the grass. It's biodegradable. But, you know, me being from New Orleans, I'm thinking, I'm not country. You know what I'm saying? So I actually had like a problem with that. I'm like, I'm not country. You know what I'm saying? but they beg to differ. Now, I didn't get it at the time, but now I do. What I like to do too, I just like to get it up against my body like this. You know, pretty long. I just like to get it up against my body. And that way I can have like a stable, see that? Get up under there and just get my hands on top and go push down. Boom, that way I don't cut my hand. All you gotta do, flick with your wrist, boom, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Get it against my body, get a little indentation. You don't have to get too much. Boom, all the way down. That's how we working with it. Just a little bit. Not too much pressure either. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. You just want to get a little bit in there. Get your hands on top. Boom. The further you get to the middle of the sugar cane, the sweeter it's going to get. That's really what you want. I'm finna try this. This one's kind of young though, but it's still good. And the sugar cane, you notice when you're dealing with sugar cane like this, it don't taste nothing like sugar, like that you buy in a store. Not to me. This tastes more like a fruity, natural, not so concentrated, sweet, you know, man, like the sweet you get from an apple or something. Sweet you get from an apple or something. And that's how I basically work these all the way down. See, it's a long way. You keep these for a long time. You just want to make sure you be safe. Yeah. What's going on? One big thing, man. One big thing that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about is this dude, this Clayton Bigsby dude, who recently went viral. He not actually Clayton Bigsby. If you know Clayton Bigsby, that's basically just a character from the Dave Chappelle show, that came out in the early 2000s. Came out some years ago, man. And he was a racist dude. He was KKK, but he was a black man, but he was blind. You know, so that's kind of like funny, but it's also figurative of them saying, you know, if you're a black man and you are supportive of the KKK or white people, then you're blind. You're blind to who you are. You're blind to the world in general. Like you're not white. You just can't see it. You know, it's like a metaphor. Like he was actually blind as a character, but it was speaking more to black people in society who you know, who they would call an Uncle Tom, right? So this dude, if y'all don't know, I think he was in one of the Carolinas, and there's a group that's protesting one of the monuments or statues at one of the courthouses. There's a Confederate statue. And basically the news interviewed them, and then they interviewed this guy. I forgot what his name was, but everyone's calling him Clayton Bigsby because basically he didn't see anything wrong with the Confederate flag, even though he was black, and he actually supported it. And no one really liked that. I mean, in the black community, a lot of minorities and Democrats and people on that side. And I usually don't get into politics on this channel. I don't care about politics like that, but I got a deeper message, right? They had a problem with it. But one of the things he said was, I was adopted by white people when I was real young. So he was adopted, raised, cared for, supported, protected by white people, and they have a different perspective, and raised him with their perspective on what the Confederate flag and the Confederacy was all about, right? And people are mad at him for having a different viewpoint. I'm not that type of dude. You know, with me, I think there's value in it. You know what I'm saying? There's value in it because it shows us that perspective, you know, is not based upon your race. It's not based upon your skin color. But it can have a lot to do with your upbringing and your surroundings. My point is, how can we get mad at people for thinking a certain way when we don't even know their story? Just chew it up like gum. Get rid of it. That's what I do. I ain't that country. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna do that? How you gonna be mad at people for that? It's getting sweeter towards the middle. A lot of people talk about the Illuminati and evil people and billionaires and rich people and all this and all that. My point is, how you gonna judge them? You never been in their shoes. You never had $1 billion. You never had the ability to make things happen, take lives whenever you want. One decision affects a whole nation. People mad at these people who were raised in evil families, but it's not evil to them. That's their way of life. So how you gonna judge? That's what I'm saying. I want y'all to. That's the biggest message. I'm just using Clayton Bigsby for a bigger message, right? This Uncle Ruckus dude, they call him Uncle Ruckus or whatever. He was raised that way. He was really raised that way. So it's not wrong to him. It's his perspective. That's his life. He was raised that way. So you talk about people who messed up in the head. They got pedophiles out here. They were raped. They were taught that was right. Murderers, hitmen. They were raised by murderers and hitmen. Thieves. They were raised by thieves. Their whole philosophy is different from yours. You see what I'm saying? So it's tough for you to see where they're coming from because your perspective is a lot different based upon how you were raised. And we pick the families we're raised in. Y'all know how I feel about that. I feel like we picked the families we were raised in. We got a soul contract. It's all predestined, and we got a choice of do we want to ascend or do we want to keep incarnating. But my point is, you can't judge people based upon their perspective, especially if they were brought up with that perspective. And y'all think it's that easy for you to just let go of a perspective? It's not. It's not that easy. Because that's who you are. That's who you are. Now this guy, he looked every bit of 30, 40 years old. I ain't gonna say 40. Upper 20s, 30, 30 something. He has been living and operating that way for his whole life with these thoughts. And y'all judging him and getting mad at him for that? I don't know if that's right, man. It's not right. It's wrong. Right? It's wrong. We gotta be more patient with each other, more, you know, compassionate with each other, because that's love. Love is compassion. Love is patience. Love is kindness. Love is all of these things. We gotta respect these people. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta, in order for you to even help them, you gotta be able to say, okay, you know what? I don't directly know what that's like. Let me try to put myself in his shoes, empathize with him. He was raised by this family. They did this all his life. This is who he is at the core. We're talking about, you know, socially. This is who he is. So I understand. Also, if there was a revolution or any change to happen with him, it wouldn't happen like that, and it definitely wouldn't happen through me bullying this person, just bombarding them with all kind of unwanted correction and advice and just instruction, you know. And we, you know, this is big. Like I said, this is bigger. Like, people talk about people that worship the devil and Luciferians and Satanists, and like I said, all of these secret cults. And bro, that 40-some-year-old person or this 30-some-year-old person or whatever 20-some-year-old person, they were raised like that. They don't just wake up and join these things all the time. Like, these people were raised by parents. Those parents were raised by grandparents, and it's in them that this is life. This is the way of life. This is right. And that's the biggest thing that I'm trying to get y'all to see. Like, to us is wrong. Certain things that I do may be wrong. You might think, man, everything you're doing with the sugarcane is wrong, but it's right to me. And you could show me that, but you could show me your perspective in a better way, but it's got to be out of love. It can't just be out of malice, raw malice and correction and ego and I'm right and you wrong. You see what I'm saying? This whole message is about when you get opportunities like this with the Clayton Bigsby and the Uncle Ruckuses and the Democrats or the Republicans or whatever you don't agree with, use love, compassion, reason, patience, and perspective to help you put yourself in their shoes and stop being a bully about stuff. And having that understanding would definitely probably benefit you more than benefit them. If you don't do it for that person or those groups of people, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. That's a lesson I had to be learning. Like I said, I had to put myself in the shoes of the people in New York. Like, I guess I am country, you know. They probably haven't been to Louisiana to see that it can get more country than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm not country, but to them, I'm real country. But to me, there's people who are more country than me. I'm from the city. I'm from New Orleans. That's a city. If you ever been to New Orleans, it's a city. So it's like, I'm not country. I don't live on a farm. I live in a neighborhood, you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about perspective, and you got to realize what we were taught at an early age and basically initiated into. That's who we are to some extent, and that don't change overnight. Peace. I love y'all. St. Pipe here, aka Black Native. I see you, Clayton Bigsby, and I love you. Out.